What it do, Kaizoku crew? It's your boy, Kaizoku Ice. As y'all can see, we've got an Excel sheet, hashtag Excel hype. But most importantly, we're talking about how it is currently a Luffy market. Woohoo! Right now. Insane things we've seen with some of these prices for Luffy cards. And I did what I do. I used my Kaizoku Ice Devil Fruit. I was in the lab doing research, and I identified the cards that I personally think are still undervalued and have a lot of potential still to grow here in the next couple months to 1 year. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. But first, we are doing a giveaway. It is only fitting we give away a Luffy card. So this is the Luffy from PRB01. Amazing card. Look at the texturing. Look at the foiling. So we're going to give away this card at the end of the video. Once again, just wait to the end and I'll let y'all know what to comment down below. But go ahead right now, like the video. It does help me out a lot. And also subscribe. Number 2. It's really funny because I know that y'all like me and I know that y'all actually listen to me. But some of y'all don't subscribe, but y'all still buy the cards I talk about. So like, what's up with that? That like low-key hurts my feelings. But it's okay. I'm just messing with y'all. But subscribing really does help me out, and we are on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Crazy, we're almost there. If we can reach 5,000 by the end of the year, crazy giveaways incoming, you already know. So go ahead and subscribe. I'll give y'all 3 seconds right now to subscribe. I'm not going to say a single word. All right, let's get into the video, everybody. So let's talk about some of the best Luffy cards here that are under about $100. I try to keep it relatively affordable. I'm not focusing on mangas or anything because those are out of my budget and, quite expensive. So I try to identify some of the best values, and this right here is screaming best value. This is the Treasure Rare Monkey D. Luffy from OP08. I did, in fact, make a video about this about 2 months ago, as y'all can see here, 2 months ago. It was $40 on TCG Player, and I did say right here, buy treasure rares before they explode, right? And you guys are like, wait, $40 2 months ago, and it's only $47 right now? Kaizoku Ice, you lied, it didn't explode, it only up $7. You suck, you're ugly. Just wait, because I did mention, I said, this card right here in the PSA 10, $95, right? I said that was a great value. Well, if you look here, sold last Saturday for $300. That is a 3x in 2 months. Once again, you know how we do. Kaizoku Ice, not too shabby. Once again, not here to pump anything or actual not financial advice, but I gave y'all actually subtle plug for my Instagram. I literally went on stream and I talked for like 30 minutes. I ripped some packs. But I talked about my thesis behind why I think treasure rares, in particular that Luffy, was still so undervalued. So if you're on Instagram and you watched and you bought the card because you watched, shout out to you, because it was only, I think when I made this video, the treasure was like $150. And as y'all can see, it went up to $300. And my thesis behind it, which I'm going to explain now, is treasure rares are extremely rare, right? Why is this card only $47 raw when in order to hit a treasure rare, it's about 1 in every case, and sometimes you don't even get 1 in a case, right? For all the new Kaizoku crew members or anyone new to the trading card game in general, 1 case is 12 boxes. So 1 box is like what? $100, right? At least for OP08, right? Because it's one of the, not as well performing sets, right? So 12 boxes of OP08 times $100 per box is quick math, $1,200. The fact that it costs $1,200 to potentially get this card and the raw price is only $47, that makes absolutely 0 sense to me, right? 0 cents. And it's a treasure rare Luffy. When you compare that to the other treasure rares in the trading card game, we see the Nami. The Nami from OP06 is about, I think, $60 to $70 raw. Why is the Luffy lower than the Nami? That makes no sense to me. And maybe you guys, I know you guys like the data, but I think it also helps to actually see the card itself. So let me show y'all how amazing this card actually looks like in real life. Look at the texture, look at the foil. This is an amazing card. And the raw, I don't have it raw. This is a PSA 10, but for this to only be $47 raw, that makes no sense to me. In a PSA 10, $300 does seem quite high, I'm not gonna lie, but actually, another part of my whole thesis behind this card is the scarcity of this card, right? 1,000 in the PSA 10, and it sold for $300. When you compare that to some of the other scarce Luffy cards, let's look at the Luffy manga from OP09. 520 population count, so about half of the treasure rare. It's about, it sold for, I think it was like $2,500, right? The Gear 4 manga rare, $1,900, pop count of 746, so about, 25% more than the treasure, or 25% less than the treasure rare, right? So, when you see these prices of $1,900 and, like $2,500, and you see $300 here, well, I would argue that this card is still relatively affordable. I know it's gone up 2x in the past 2 months, and I don't think in the next 2 months this card will reach $600, but I could see this card reaching $500 easily, as we head into the next year. I mean, for something as rare as a treasure and the one and only treasure rare of Luffy so far in the trading card game, I mean, guys, like, it's a no-brainer to me. If $300 is too much for you, I think the easiest play here is just getting this card raw. I honestly think that this card should be $60 to $70, and I'm sure, after the video, it probably will be $60 to $70, but regardless, this is such a hard card to pull, and, $47 is just criminally low. So, that's the first card I want to talk about here on this in this chart is the Treasure Rare Luffy. The next card is the Shonen Jump Luffy. I feel like a lot of y'all might not even realize the significance of this card. So, as y'all can see here, I have a picture of Luffy pointing at you. He's pointing at you right now to subscribe to my channel. So, go ahead and do that if you guys haven't already. I gave y'all 3 seconds. I'm going to give y'all 3 seconds again to subscribe. Okay, moving along. I don't think y'all realize the significance here. This is the first time that One Piece was in Shonen Jump. This was in 1997. This is volume 34. This copy in particular, y'all can see, is pretty old. It sold for $1,600, almost $1,700, right? But did y'all know we have this literal art on a card here in the One Piece trading card game? When we're talking about rookie cards and like some of the first cards, the coolest cards in the trading card game, to me, this here is actually like the rookie card in the trading card game, because the fact that this was the first art in the trading card, or not in the trading card game, the first art of One Piece. This is the first cover on Shonen Jump. The fact that we have it on a card, nah, this card deserves to be higher. And it's already made quite significant moves, as y'all can see here. Some mad lad bought 35 about a week ago. It wasn't me. I don't got money like that, but in the past year, right, it's up 700%. If y'all bought, this card at like what, $12 in December last year, respect to you for having that foresight. I didn't buy this card raw, but I do have this card in a BGS 10. I want y'all to see it so you'll have better appreciation for the card in general. I bought this card in 2023 or 2024 for $66. Quite cheap, and if y'all can see, I'll show y'all later, but this card's pretty much 10x since I bought it, which is crazy. And I mean, it's because the trading card game in general is going crazy, and it is a Luffy market, but this card is amazing. I mean, the fact that we have the Shonen Jump banner here at the top, we've got Luffy pointing, telling y'all to subscribe. We've got Nami right here, we've got Ben Beckman, we've got Shanks right here. I mean, we've got like pretty much all of Shanks' crew in general, but guys, this is a no-brainer. The cultural significance of this card cannot be understated. It's the first art that we have from literally the Shonen Jump cover itself. Guys, I mean, if that's not as of a no-brainer, I mean, like, guys, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, this card just makes so much sense, and I do realize it has gone up quite significantly already, but I still feel like this card is still relatively undervalued. Maybe not $140. If y'all could get this card raw for $100, I would. Also, I forgot to mention, there are 3 versions of this card. This comes from Event Pack Volume 2, which you actually had to attend a tournament to get. But it also comes here. This comes from the CS Championship 2023 Event Pack, where you actually had to go to, participate in the championship series. The only difference between this card the event pack, and this card right here, the championship event pack, is the championship stamp right here. There is one more version of this card, and it is the finalist version of this card. I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah, the finalist version here has everything that the other two has, but this one has texturing, while the other two do not have texturing. And this one sold for $3,000, which is insane. But when you kind of tie everything together, the significance of the card, how difficult it is to get. When we look at the population count for this card, actually, there's only 395 in a PSA 10. In BGS, maybe let's add 100 more. So let's say 500 in a PSA 10 or BGS 10. I mean, that's pretty low, right? And man, you'd be hard pressed to say that this isn't some of the best art. I would easily say that this is probably the most significant art that we have of Luffy, being it the Shonen Jump cover. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So going to the chart here, $140 raw price does feel a little bit high, but when you tie in everything about it, the significance of it, the art behind it, $140 does seem pretty reasonable. I would feel more comfortable at the $100 price point. So if you can't get it at $100, I think I would scoop at that price point. The PSA 10 price point is quite high, I'm not gonna lie. $500, I mean, if you get some other cards, you could argue some better cards for $500. I mean, but in my opinion, out of all the cards I'm gonna talk about here, this is the best art of Luffy, and it is actually the most scarce. You compare this pop count to the treasure rare pop count. This one is, where is it? Can't find it. This one is 600 population count less than the treasure rare, right? So, I mean, I think that this card has so much potential, and as you get closer, to the live action and some of the other catalysts I'm expecting to happen here in the near future, I think that this card has a lot of potential. I don't think it will reach $1,000. If it does, that's crazy, but I just really wanted to highlight this card because I feel like a lot of y'all don't realize the actual cultural impact that this card does have. So that is the Shonen Jump Luffy, and then the next card, as y'all can see, is the Chinese New Year's Luffy. Excuse me. I mentioned in my video on Monday about the Chinese first anniversary set, but I didn't mention the Chinese New Year's Luffy. This card you could only get by participating and actually purchasing from, I believe, the Bandai store in China. I think it was like $15 purchase, and then you would get not this one right here. You would get this card right here, but it came in a red envelope, this envelope right here. It was kind of, it's similar to the actual like Chinese New Year tradition where you give out money in the red envelopes. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but during Chinese New Year, you give out money in red envelopes to, people you care for and love, etc. I'm not Chinese, so I don't actually participate in this, but from what I understand, that's how the tradition works. But this card came in the red envelope, and guys, I think that this is so undervalued. I mean, the fact we got Luffy right here eating meat, right? And I mean, we all love meat, pause, but in all seriousness, like, I feel like this really exemplifies Luffy in his absolute Luffiness, if that's even a word. Like, Luffy's just a chill dude who likes to beat up on people and eat meat. I mean, like, who doesn't like to eat meat? I like to eat meat. It's a no-brainer, pause. Anyways, guys, I'm done trolling, but in all seriousness, guys, the fact that this card is only, let me find it, $11 raw, that is a steal. We do not have this art yet at all in the trading card game. Let me quickly show you what this card looks like in real life, because I feel like pictures don't do this card justice at all. Right here, guys, this card is so nice. Once again, Luffy eating meat. Got a bunch of different meats. We got, I think, chicken here. We got some, like, looks like some, about to eat some hot pot or something. But guys, this card is amazing, and I think you can get this card even in the red envelope sealed for around like $15. So out of the cards I'm going to talk about here, I mean, to me, this is like the best value card you can get. I do know that it is in Chinese, and some of y'all aren't. You guys are only English collectors, or even if you're Japanese collectors, you guys don't want Chinese text cards. But for the simple fact that this is a limited card, we don't have this art in either English or Japanese, and it is one of the cheaper cards. I mean, once again, that kind of feels like a no-brainer to me. The pop count on this card is even less than the treasure rare Luffy, actually, only 909. The PSA 10 price it's kind of hard to get exact because, well, I put $50 right here because right here on eBay, you can see this is the only one I could find is $80. But more recent souls were like $35 literally yesterday, October 21st. So I went in between, and I still feel like at $50, this card is pretty affordable and pretty cheap and arguably the best value out of all the cards here. I mean, $50, once again, skip your lunch, skip your dinner, starve for a little bit, eat your ice water soup for dinner. You're chilling, you can afford this card. And I genuinely love this card, similar to how I like the exclusive art from the Chinese first anniversary set that I mentioned on Monday. I feel like this is a card that has the potential to do extremely well also. So that's the Chinese New Year Luffy. And the last card we're going to talk about is this card right here. This is one of my personal favorites. I also mentioned it in this video right here. Oh wait, no, in this video here, I mentioned this card 7 months ago, right? So if you were a loyal Kaizoku crew member 7 months ago, shout out to you, and I hope you listened to me back then because this whole set was only $110. But now, to get one of these cards, where is it? I lost it. This card, this is like literally the only listing on eBay, $350, right? And I don't think that this is a $350 card. So I got the most recent sale I could find. It was like $45, and I kind of went in between. I put it at $200. So that may or may not be the exact PSA 10 price, but regardless, I do believe that this card right here by itself is at least $100 in a PSA 10, which is just so crazy because literally 7 months ago, you could get all three sequential for $110. That just shows how crazy the One Piece market is in general and how much potential we still have to go. So the raw price, as you can see here on TCG Republic, is $15.80, which, once again, I feel like that's a pretty good value for such an amazing card. Let me show you what exactly this card looks like in real life real quick. Here we go. Yeah. We got the Saikyo Jump Luffy, aka the schoolboy Luffy, with him and the sandwich he's eating. Of course, Luffy's literally hoarding all the sandwiches. I love the Luffy cards that exemplify how stupid Luffy is, and boy, is he stupid in this picture. I just love it, right? So, guys, Saikyo Jump Luffy, you could only get this card by getting the Saikyo Jump at the time. I think it was May Saikyo Jump in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. But you would get this and the Ace and the Sabo. And guys, I genuinely think that this is one of the best promos. We do not have this art at all in either the English or Chinese trading card game. We only have it in the Japanese, and I do not think we're gonna get this reprinted in English or Chinese. So this is the only time, or I guess the only opportunity that you can get this card. And you guys know I'm all about the regional exclusive cards. I feel like whether it's English, Japanese, or Chinese, you guys need to be buying those regional exclusive cards because, you know, presumably if they never reprint this card in the other languages, then you can only get this card in Japanese. And this, in my opinion, is one of the best arts in the trading card game. As I said earlier, it exemplifies Luffy to his core, and those are the cards that I think are going to do extremely well. So, just to recap, $15.80 raw price. Actually, all of these raw prices here I think are a steal. Maybe not the Shonen Jump Luffy. 140 does seem a little bit high, so maybe we wait to see that cool down a little bit. But regardless, you know, I still think that this is a great card. But raw, I'd say get every single one of these cards. Whoops. Control Z. The PSA 10 prices, if you can get this Luffy here for $100, I think that's a pretty good price. $50, insane steal. I would buy it. $500, I don't know about that one. I think that this card does have arguably the most potential to grow because it is the Shonen Jump art design. But, you know, if we're talking about like 2, 3, 4, 5xing, I mean, I don't think this card's going to reach 1,000. If it does, crazy. But, you know, I think that $500 PSA 10, just be careful is all I have to say. Then $300 for the Treasure Rare, you know, I think that that's a pretty fair price right there, and I do think that it could go to $500 here in the near future. So that's actually all the cards that I wanted to talk about. Let me see here. Let me just go through some of the tabs to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, Mosburger Luffy. I didn't add here in the Excel sheet, but I just want to cover real quick because this is another regional exclusive card. I also did mention this card 7 months ago. Kind of shows that I have, once again, not to brag or to count or anything, but I do believe that I have, the foresight using my Kaizoku Ice Devil Fruit to determine what does well. And I said, guys, buy this card at $17, and the raw price right now is like $47, so it has 3x, actually no, 35 with $10 shipping. So it has 3x or 2x in the past 7 months. And I do think that because it has the Mosburger stamp right here, that is an in real life collab that I don't think a lot of people realize. We don't have this art at all, either in English or Chinese. I mean, Luffy with chicken, what is there not to like, right? Let me actually, once again, I have to make sure that y'all understand how nice this card looks like in real life. So, take a look at this card. We got chicken, and we got the hamburger right here. We got the Mosburger stamp. There's no texturing on this card. It's just regular hollow foil, but I honestly think that this is some of the best art also. And once again, in real life collab stamp, it's kind of a no-brainer to me. So let me make myself smaller here. And I believe that the pop count for this card is actually pretty low also. So let me see here. Maybe I don't actually have it? Question mark? I don't know. I swear I had. Let me just quickly look at sold items here real quick. See if I can find a PSA 10. Okay, maybe this one. See original listing. Oh yeah, so pop count of 549. So once again, pretty low pop count compared to all the other cards I talked about also, and compared to just the overall One Piece trading card game in general. Only 549 is pretty low, and I know some people are English only collectors, but guys, trust me, I do believe that this card has a lot of potential also. I just didn't mention it because I feel like I've mentioned this card a lot before, but anything Luffy related that shows him eating, I feel like is just a good buy in general. And especially because this one has a stamp in the bottom left of an in real life brand. I mean, that's similar to a McDonald's stamp, and we know how well the McDonald's stamps do on on Pokemon, and even some of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that you got with the McDonald's Happy Meal toys, those have done well too. So guys, don't sleep on this card. I actually don't know why I didn't add it to this chart here, but I do think that Mosburger Luffy has a lot of potential. Just because, I mean, if you're going over all the Luffy cards of him eating, just real quick, I mean, I just like all the Luffy cards of him eating. I think that they just really exemplify Luffy at his core, and they're just fun cards. And actually, all 3 cards I have here have not been reprinted in any other language, especially in English. So get your Luffy eating cards. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I think that's pretty much all I had to cover for today's video. Oh wait, I don't think I showed y'all. Wait, oh no, did I show y'all this one? Am I trolling? I'm gonna have to recap on the footage because I don't know why. It was behind my laptop on my desk. So maybe I didn't show y'all this card, but this is an amazing card. Maybe I'll slip it in the video. I don't think I did. I'm gonna have to recap the footage. But anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. I genuinely love every single one of these cards, and it is a Luffy market. So get your Luffy cards now before it is too late. So I'm gonna let y'all know how you can win this card now. All you have to do is comment down below which card do you think is gonna do the best that I talked about. These 5 cards, including the Mosburger Luffy. Which card do you think has the most potential? Do you think it's going to be the Treasury Luffy, or the Shonen Jump Luffy, or the Chinese New Year Luffy? Let me know down below, and I'll enter you in to win this card here. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You already know the vibes. I'm Kaizoku Ice. I hope y'all enjoyed. Stay cool, stay chill, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.